Okay, listen up. 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 Okay.
Hubba Bubba Doopy Doop here in my Riata. Okay, I just put gas in it. I kind of freaked out. I put $20 in gas. I get the ethanol-free 93 octane, whatever they have around here. I don't like that ethanol. They put 10% ethanol, and old engines like mine don't like that. So, plus it's the winter mix. They put something in there for, whatever winter. But anyway, I put in $20 in the gas can, and I turned the key on and it says low fuel. I'm like, oh no, what, the float's not working? But then it says like almost a quarter tank. I remember like when this gets to like around a quarter tank, you'll get the beeping on the little TV or display. It'll tell you, oh yeah, low fuel. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I only put like just a little over 3 gallons. It's like almost $6 a gallon. I'm like, what the fuck? That fuel pump is nice and quiet. Oop. Yeah. Yeah. Low fuel. I'm like, what? And you push the gauge button, and it's got 1 bar, and that's about 3.5 gallons. Yeah. Fuel level very low. I can bring up the gauges. I had this rebuilt not long after I bought the car because it had the problems. It's an actual little cathode ray tube, CRT, like an old monitor or like a TV, and it's all touch, but it has overlays, and it's just like a 2-layer kind of thing. It isn't a TFT display like your smartphone. It isn't like that. And then you have the hard buttons around the edge. I don't use the radio one. Obviously, I got an aftermarket head unit and all that, but I put it on gauges usually. It's where I leave it. And so there's the oil pressure and the battery voltage, the temperature. Almost acts like it's got a little bit of a mist, but it's really cold, Yeah, hasn't been running in a while. I have about half a quart over oil when I was doing it. I forgot that I didn't refill the filter when I just changed the oil. The Mobil 1 10W30 synthetic. I didn't put any oil in the filter, so I added the whole almost 5 quarts. I'm like, oops! So it's like half a quart over. But that's okay. And this engine does not leak a drop, thank God. Because new oil pan gasket and all the valve cover gaskets. When I did the transmission, I pulled the flex plate off and I did the rear main seal when I changed the transmission. So, yeah, man, $20. It's ridiculous, the price of gas. Yeah, that sounds better. Temperature's coming up. And I'll let it run for a while. 3.8 liter V6 LN3. Get the climate on automatic. Yeah, it's on auto. There we go. Now you just hit one and it'll go to whatever this is. You could have two memories. Yeah, this was $150 to get it refurbished and $50 total to him and back to me for shipping and handling. It'd be $25. So it was $150 plus another $50, and it was well worth it because you buy a refurbished one on eBay and there's almost $600, I think, because it's a finite amount of them. Nobody bothers to fix them when they go to the junkyard and pull them out. And there's only a couple people that actually work on them. What happens is the electrolytic capacitors they used to use, they dry out. The old electrolytic gel capacitors. They all, when they age and they dry out, and that's it. They're done, and you lose the whole raster and the horizontal and vertical, and it starts going like this and stuff. You can't even read it. And when I got this back, I plugged it in. It's like, wow, it's like brand new, and with updated modern parts. The guy's name was Eddie Voland. He was one of the dudes who actually built Riatas. And he was one of the techs that made these little TVs. They're made in America. I think it's RCA maybe or something like that. I forgot what he said it was based on, but it's an actual cathode ray tube. It's pretty heavy too. And this part where the buttons are is actually like a 2-layer sandwich, and like you push on it where the grid is, and that's what it does with the memory. And there's 5 computers in this 1989 car. 36 years ago, and there's computers in this car. And it's not warmed up all the way yet, but it's getting there. It's not missing no more. Well, the last time I put plugs in it, they're Bosch double platinum. So little things like that, I always try to get the best. Here's the mileage, 169.39. I've seen newer cars with more than that on it. No fuel leaks. Nice and dry. Spilled some oil down there when I was pouring it in. I have a tube that makes this longer with a nice cap on it that they used on the Series 2 engine because of that problem. You go to pour your oil in, and this thing is at this weird angle. There's no vacuum, there's no blow-by of any kind. Knock on wood. Oh, that's already cleared up. I hit it with brake parts cleaner when I got the oil down there. It runs down in this wire race right here. It runs down in there and then collects around your plug wires. Or if the PVC system messes up on the Series 1, had the plastic elbows for the water and all that, and the plastic EGR adapter, all garbage engine. The oil would go down there and collect and rot the plug wires and catch fire. There's one of the cooling fans just came on. It's got two fans, a puller and pusher. Alrighty, there's a new fuel line. I didn't even bother to put the filter on. I'm just turning it around and parking it and moving it when I'm ordered to. Very rudely ordered to. But that's what happens, you know. Alrighty, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye. I can bring up the gauges. I had this rebuilt not long after I bought the car because it had the problems. You know, it's an actual little cathode ray tube. I can bring up the gauges. I had this rebuilt not long after I bought the car because it had the problems. You know, it's an actual little cathode ray tube. I can bring up the gauges. I had this rebuilt not long after I bought the car because it had the problems. You know, it's an actual little cathode ray tube. I can bring up the gauges. I had this rebuilt not long after I bought the car because it had the problems. You know, it's an actual little cathode ray tube. I can bring up the
Hasta la vista.